Hello, this is Andrew Seno. I guess I'm back. Um, I figured since everyone has a lot of downtime right now, I would start posting videos again when I had spare time. And actually, I have a bank of old videos that I just never finished that I will start with. So I'll get these out of the way, and maybe I'll talk over some. Maybe I'll just put music over some. But yeah, I figure I'll do this. I'm sorry I've been away for so long. This drawing is actually from way back in January, and not January 2020, January 2019. So it's over a year old. So I think this video's just been sitting, collecting dust for a year, and yeah, kind of. I guess I'm putting the putting the finishing touches on it, and posting it. With these drawings, I always start out with a red color erase pencil, and I draw lightly, kind of ironing out what the drawing is. I think this was actually a Creature Club request, so I drew a pumpkin night for this person, and yeah, so that's what I'm attempting to do right here as you watch me in slightly sped up time complete the pencils. Yeah, so I kind of iron everything out in the pencils first, and then you'll see shortly, once I have the drawing figured out, I start inking. And yeah, you know, uh, a lot has happened to me since I was making these videos. I had to take a break because I just had too much work to do. I worked on a graphic novel that should be coming out in November through First Second Publishing, and it's a science comic about the digestive system, which was oh, here I go. Here I'm starting to ink it. And I use Micron, I think 01. I use Micron 01 pens, and yeah, I kind of try to lightly touch the paper with them. And yeah, but as I was saying, I completed a graphic novel about the human digestive system, which was really intense and fun to work on. Excited to be able to share more about it with everyone. And maybe I'll talk about it more, but it's still a ways away from being released. And I'm sure you'll see me starting to post on Instagram and Twitter about it to start to promote it in the next coming weeks. But I've also started. I started teaching at my alma mater, the Rhode Island School of Design. I started teaching a character design class, and so I temporarily moved back to the East Coast. I'm staying with some friends. I'm originally from the East Coast in Massachusetts, so I'm staying with some friends in Newton. They have an extra room, and they're very nice and kind, and they have a really funny, energetic 4-year-old who you might be able to hear in the background while I'm talking. You might not, I'm not sure, but I can definitely hear him. Yeah, I've been here for a few months, and I was teaching and doing freelance work. And then all this stuff started happening. What's going on in the world today. And classes got canceled for a week, and then they sent everyone home. And next week I start, or I guess this week I start teaching online, which will be really interesting. I've never done that. And yeah, so it's a definitely a weird time for everyone and a weird time for me because I'm kind of currently, all my belongings are in storage right now in California, and I'm out on the East Coast, isolating at home, and yeah, there's a you know, like I was saying before, it's easy to feel kind of isolated and helpless right now, and so I want to start posting these videos and making new ones because I want to, start contributing, and I don't know if this stuff helps anyone, but it'll help me. It'll be an extra thing to focus on. I'm a freelancer, so I work from home. So as long as I can find work, I can still work. Do you know what I mean? And it doesn't seem. I think the animation industry is pretty well equipped for people to work at home. It's something. And the time I've been out in LA, that studios have been fooling around with a lot. So like you'll have a storyboarder that works from home, on a crew, or a few designers that work from home because they live in another country or something like that. So animation tends to be very global, and so I think converting animation work to working at home will probably be pretty easy as long as everyone has the equipment to work at home. Like I have a computer and a scanner and a printer, and I have a Cintiq, which is a screen. It's kind of like I guess, like an iPad Pro. Uh, Now they make iPad Pros, but before iPad Pros, there were Wacom made a thing called a Cintiq, which is a screen you can draw on that has really nice digital inputs, and but they're pretty pricey, and but I have one, so it's very easy for me to work from home, and in order to not feel so isolated, even though I'm pretty much a homebody anyway, so for me, this hasn't been that tough. But I also want to, start sharing and communicating with people again. And, these videos seem like a good way to do that. The family that's letting me stay here, they do a lot of things like they're big crafters, like they knit and make things, and they do a lot of baking. So they bake their own bread, they make their own kimchi, they make their own kombucha and butter, and they live in a city, but they make a lot of their own stuff. So they've been baking up a storm lately and inventing all sorts of some projects, like art projects to work on, and starting new sweaters and socks to knit and hats and stuff like that. And pretty soon they're going to start doing things like, like a lot of people are making masks for doctors and nurses and stuff like that, just because there's a shortage right now. So I know a bunch of people who are actually taking the time to make masks, and I think that's really cool. I'm not that great a sewer, but maybe at some point I'll take my hand at making masks. And I know how to sew. I'm just not that precise. So I'm like, well, I don't know if they'll want my masks. Like if it's a badly made mask, it's not going to do anyone any good. But I'm gonna try and look to see if things I can do to help. It's like there's that Mr. Rogers quote, like, look for the helpers. In times of strife and need, look for the helpers or whatever. And I guess I would say, take it one step further and become a helper. Look, see what you can do. Like how you can help your community in ways and still, help your community from a distance. Like it's funny. I go on walks, and I was walking around last night. No one's outside in the evening, and some kids had drawn this chalk obstacle course on the sidewalk. It's like an exercise course with like footsteps that you hop into and different distances you have to hop, and like a chalk balance beam you have to walk on, and an area you have to run for, and it goes for like a few houses. I was pretty impressed by it, but I was like, oh, that's neat. That's like a way of interacting with people around you without, while still practicing social distancing and stuff like that. And yeah, I think that's neat, a lot of people are posting about like things you can do with your kids, keep them active and, still have them learn and stuff like that. And yeah, I don't know. I hope to make some videos that are more directed like that. Those would be more in-depth videos, but I have some videos I've been wanting to make for a long time that maybe when I get back into the swing of things, I can take a stab at. I'm still very busy. I still have a lot of work I'm doing. I'm still teaching, so I don't know how much time I'm going to have for these videos, but I want to try and do at least one a week for as long as I can, and get back in the habit of doing drawings under the camera. The room I'm staying in has a big desk, and I've just kind of rearranged things so that I can have a space for drawing set up constantly, so I can just, whenever I feel like it, I can do one of these videos. Yeah. So, and I'll try to talk over them. I don't know what I'm going to talk about, but maybe I'll just talk about how I'm feeling, how I'm doing. I'll give you guys an update on what it's like to teach online and what are some methods. It's going to be interesting to see how people embrace all these, luckily there's all these ways of communicating that have been invented for businesses that people are using. Like it was my birthday last week, and we had a Zoom call between me and my immediate family. I have 3 brothers and 1 sister, and both my parents are still around. And so we had a family Skype meeting, or not, family Zoom meeting, which was about an hour and a half long. And about an hour of it was trying to talk my parents through how to get the video and sound to work at the same time. It involved like calling them on the phone because they couldn't hear us, and slowly stepping them through stuff. And so, there's definitely a learning curve for this stuff, but it's pretty intuitive, and there's definitely YouTube videos about how to use it. So, yeah. So it's really interesting times we're living in right now. Anyway, yeah, so look at this. So the pumpkin night is looking pretty good. Right now I'm filling in the blacks, and it's almost done. So, yeah. At the end of the video, there'll be a call out to my Patreon supporters. I've actually been, since I haven't been producing videos, I put my Patreon on hold. I didn't want to charge people while I wasn't posting stuff. And every month you can withhold charging people if you want. And so I've been doing that, and I feel like it's been a while since I've charged anyone for my videos. But I think what I'm going to do is, while everything's going on, I'm going to keep making videos, try to make one a week, but I'm just going to keep the Patreon on hold and until I'm ready to really relaunch it. And I'm gonna keep it on hold through this whole ordeal because I don't want to charge people for videos right now. It's tough enough for everyone right now, and I'm doing okay. So, and then when I relaunch the Patreon, I'm gonna change things around a little bit, also, just because I found that having to post videos beforehand on Patreon and having a Patreon kind of changed the way I post it. Like I don't post that many drawings anymore because I'd be like, oh, I gotta post them on Patreon before I post them anywhere else, and so I'd post them on Patreon, and then it would just be such a hassle to post them. Like, oh, I post this here this day, and I have to wait this many days to post it here, and it was a big pain in the butt, and it actually like I feel like it slowly over time, uh, it kind of like eliminated my urge to post anything, and yeah, so I kind of slowly stopped posting things, and then just posting stuff to Patreon, and then posting it on YouTube when a new video came out, and now I'm in the habit of not posting things, which is really bad. So I think when I relaunch the Patreon, it's gonna be like, if you want to support me, you can support me here, and there might be some bonus stuff you get there, like early looks into projects and stuff like that aren't ready to be seen by the public. But I think for the most part, when I relaunch it, it'll just be a way of supporting me, and I'm just gonna post stuff when I'm done with a drawing, basically everywhere, and not have a lead-in time. I have a whole backlog of drawings I haven't even scanned in because it would be like, I gotta scan it and put it on the Patreon, and then I just lose interest or I'd forget. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, you'll see a thing of Patreon supporters. These are the people on there are people who still signed up for my Patreon, even though they haven't been being charged. And I thank everyone for supporting my work and stuff like that. Don't worry, you're not going to be charged anytime soon. There'll definitely be an announcement on the Patreon when things start to change. And yeah, but in the meantime, everyone, yeah, I'm back. I'm going to try to post a video a week, and hopefully in a few weeks I'll have some brand new material for you guys. So hang in there. Stay safe. Hang in there. Stay safe. Practice social distancing, and stay informed. Like I feel like at this time, if you're feeling anxious, look towards the scientists and doctors and experts and see what they're saying. They're giving good information and coming up with good ideas. It's gonna be a time where a lot of people are gonna struggle, but it's also a time that we'll get through. So that's it. Have a good day, and everyone stay healthy. So, all right, good night.